All right, good morning, y'all. It is Friday, the 9th of June in 2023. It's 11 a.m. here in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. And we are live. Today it's just me and the kitty. Kirsten
Hi.
had some Kirsten had some other stuff to take care of today. And I know she wishes she could be here, but she's doing important stuff. And
She is important stuff.
yeah, it is important stuff. She's, working on she's in meetings and working on the new website developments. The big news today, I don't know if it's big news all over the world. I think it is. I noticed it was a major headline in The Economist. It was a major headline in Reuters. You know, I don't get a lot of other international newsletters, but it does seem to be big news all over the world, and that is what I'm calling the orange elephant in the room. That Donald Trump was indicted on charges related to keeping documents after his presidency, basically stealing a bunch of documents and keeping them at Mar-a-Lago. I call it Mar-a-Lago. And then trying to cover it up. When they asked him for the documents, he says, "Oh, we don't have any." And then he finally says, "Oh, we found some," and gave them some documents, but they're still like, "No, there's a lot more missing." And they're like, "No, we gave you all the documents." And so that constitutes obstruction of justice. And if we remember far enough back, what got Nixon wasn't so much the break-in at Watergate as it was the cover-up. And it's always the cover-up that gets you.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of developments related to this. His two top lawyers quit this morning, and the judge was announced. And the judge is going to be that same judge that, just gave him all kinds of free passes the last time this came up. And it's one of his appointed judges that really has no business being a judge. So this is all going to get very interesting and very crazy, and it will obviously have a huge impact on the upcoming elections. But here's the piece that I think people are missing. This does not mean he's going to be convicted. The fact that he is clearly guilty and has admitted to being guilty, and at the same time is denying being guilty, but he's so much as said, "Of course I did it. I should be allowed to. I'm the president," and all this stuff, claiming to have declassified documents in his brain without actually filling out the paperwork, and having done so after the fact, after he was no longer president. All this stuff is incredibly damning. There's tapes, audio tapes of him talking about these documents with other people and acknowledging that they were classified, and that he had not declassified them in his brain. So besides the fact that he is obviously clearly guilty, and that this rises to crimes under the Espionage Act, which is incredibly serious. If anybody, and this is the piece that people miss. If anybody, just some Joe, had, hang on a second here, I need to respond to something here real quick.
In the meantime, take a look at this.
Oh, we're gonna get some
We're gonna
marvelous
get some
kittiness
live
here.
Venus action.
So Kirsten couldn't be here, but her stand-in
Is quite beautiful.
is quite beautiful, and is wondering why she's not getting more treats for being so
Exactly.
beautiful. So
Like, hello, give me more of your chicken.
yeah.
I want chicken. I want liver.
If just any Joe, for example, a soldier in the U.S. military who has clearance and mishandled just one document, they likely go to jail. And there's just no two ways about it. And when they're given this training, I was speaking to a Marine friend of mine yesterday, when they're given this training, they're warned, this is not something that you take lightly. If you misuse any of this, even a little bit, you're going to jail. But in the United States, as well as probably in most countries, there's a separate justice system for the very wealthy and powerful. And it's not that it's, overtly separate, they go to different courts, and no. They go through the same justice system, but because of their vast resources, they're able to obfuscate and delay and, and keep pressing until something breaks their way. And this is very, very likely to happen with Donald Trump. It is extremely unlikely that he will be convicted or go to jail. And, that's just my take, in spite of the fact that we all know he's guilty. And to me, this is the important part of this story, that somebody like this can get away with so many crimes for so long. I mean, he has committed, that we know of, vast numbers of crimes over many decades, refusing to pay his contractors, violating civil rights laws when he was a slumlord in New York, sexual assault, all of his trips to Epstein's private island with the underage girls, all this stuff. Stealing money from the Veterans Fund, there's been so much stuff for so long, and he just gets away with all of it, and as do most. I mean, there's exceptions, obviously. Bernie Madoff is an exception. The guy that ran Enron is an exception. I mean, there are exceptions where, it just piles up so high that there's no choice but to throw them in jail. This is not likely it, in my view. I know a lot of people are very excited and very full of schadenfreude about this and expecting that somebody at my door delivering a thing, it looks like. Yep, that's an Amazon package. This is my take, and to me, this is the problem. Whether or not he goes to jail doesn't affect me personally. I don't think it affects the American people specifically. The fact that powerful people get away with this shit all the time does. I don't know, what the documents are and what exposure there is and, what kind of damage that can do to the country. That stuff I don't know so much about. I know that there's, talk of at least one document that had something to do with U.S. military plans for Iran. And, I don't know. I mean, it was like a contingency thing. I don't know how much impact that actually has. But to me, the biggest threat from all of this is that his acolytes, his followers, consider this a badge of honor. And within an hour of the indictments coming out yesterday, his campaign was sending out letters raising money based on the fact that, hey, he just got indicted in this wonderful, they don't say isn't it wonderful, they say, oh, we've got to stop the Democrats and their socialism and blah, blah, blah. And he's raising money based on it. And the fact that he still has so much of a following that they're willing to, not only not only, ignore the trespasses and the crimes, but actually embrace it. That's scary to me. I do not think he'll be elected. I do think he will get the Republican nomination, and I think he will crash and burn, in other words, not get elected.
Well, either he gets the nomination or DeSantis gets the nomination and he runs on a third party.
Well,
I'm obviously rooting for the
about.
second. Yeah, I'm rooting for the second option because that's going to split the vote.
The vote's going to be split anyway. I don't know, at this point, it seems highly unlikely that DeSantis is going to get the nomination. I know at least one person I know is planning to register as a Republican just so they can vote for DeSantis in the primaries in California. Here in Nevada, we have open primaries starting this cycle, so we don't have to do that if we want to. Honestly, as a candidate and as a president, DeSantis scares me more than Trump, because Trump was extremely incompetent. And so he wasn't able to really get a lot of his agenda done.
Yeah.
I think DeSantis is less incompetent.
He's a sneaky one, that DeSantis.
He's done a lot of damage in Florida. So he scares me more than Trump. Trump is likely to get the nomination, and he is likely to lose in the general election. Getting to that edge of the precipice scares me. I mean, I don't want him around, but he's going to be around. There's no getting around it. He's not going to jail. He's not going to, and he's certainly not going to jail before the election. And even if he does, there's nothing stopping him from being elected. People are talking about, if he's convicted, then he can't run for. That's not true. He can. The legal experts are saying he could still run, and he could still win, and he could still be inaugurated from jail. So anyway, this is the big orange elephant in the room today, as I like to say, so that's kind of mostly what's been on my radar. We still have the fires. The Canadian fires are still creating health risks all across the eastern seaboard, both in Canada and in the U.S. And that's a big problem. We all need to, really get behind efforts to rein in climate change. And, again, I don't see it happening, and it's going to require global cooperation. I don't see that happening. In other news, last night we had our first poker game night, and I loved it. We had a lot of fun, but I want to find a way for us to play with you, our audience, and Steam is not that. So I'm going to ask Rickety and her team to. Are you eating something? Your mouth is going.
It is. I did notice that. No, I'm just trying to drink my coffee.
It's always so funny when I see you doing that, and it's like you're trying to say something.
Bean keeps walking in front of my computer like every minute or so. She's walking on top of my keyboard, and it's glitching my face out.
Yeah, this is what cats do. It's their job.
Yep.
To walk on your keyboard, that's their job.
There she goes again.
Our game night was, we had a lot of fun playing poker, but what I'd like to do is to find a way for us to. So I'm gonna put Rickety on this. Find us a way where we can all play poker together with our audience. If there's not something with the Jackbox games, then perhaps there's another app.
I'll see.
That you can find where our audience can join in the poker game. My brother was asking for that. My brother Steve, who loves to play poker.
Awesome! I mean, we could even do that on the same app, so long as we, say, "Hey, you're gonna try to go to room number 3," and then you press it until you get room.
Well,
number 3.
But then he can see your cards.
He will promise me not to cheat.
Yeah. Okay. I want us to find a better way. I mean, I loved this app, and I'm going to probably play with it on my own now and then because it just looks like a lot of fun. But and we can create a private room. I probably just need to buy, some chips or something to be able to do that.
I'll look it up because from what I saw, if we went into like gameplay, we would have been able to create our own, like host our
We'll
own
see if you
room.
can figure it out.
Yeah.
But even so, and the other thing is that if you were to use an app like OBS, I think it's called, you could create a mask that covers your cards, but at the same time still be able to see your own cards like on a different screen or, in a different window in the thing. But OBS is complicated and it uses a lot of processor and it may create more delay. And I don't know, it's got its problems. But it's a common solution for things like this. But, do your thing and find us a better solution for this, because
Okay.
otherwise next week we either go back to Jackbox or we find something else that we can have our fans participate in. Because I really like having them be able to join us in the games.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Okay, that's all I got today. You got anything else, Kitty? We could take
No.
another look at your
No.
bean.
I just tried to give her a pet and she jumped away.
Oh,
She's like, no,
she's
my only job here is to just walk
she's,
back and forth your keyboard.
yeah, yeah.
Exactly. You know what's really crazy that I was seeing on social media was like the fact that he was crying when he was talking about this, and I feel like I have a mixed emotions about that.
Who he
'Cause I'm
what?
like, that Trump was crying when he was addressing the
Oh, that's been
indictment charge, or he
exposed
had
as
been.
that's been exposed as a deep fake.
Okay, yeah. See, that's what I mean. Like I have so many mixed emotions about it because it's like it was created for people to get enjoyment out of seeing that, and it's like this isn't a situation that Americans should have been in anyway,
Right.
but it's like they're using that deep fake, other deep fakes, and then the one that I hear most recently is deep fakes of Biden and Trump and Obama playing video games together, like deep fakes of their voices.
Oh, that's actually sounds like fun.
It
But,
is
yeah.
kind of hilarious, but it's like, dang, this is like this technology is only getting better from here on out.
Or worse, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, that's true. Worse for us. But
Yeah. That's definitely a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's another scary prospect that we're not going to be able to. Have you ever watched what's it called?
iRobot.
No, it's not what I was thinking of. It's a lovely movie, and Will Smith and all that. No, The Expanse.
Oh no, I have it.
The Expanse is awesome, and you should watch it anyway. But the first season actually revolves around the global impact, and not just global, but because they've populated the solar system at this point. So it's that scale of impact from a deep fake.
Wow.
And it's very realistic. The books are better than the TV series is fabulous. It's like really, really well done, and I loved it. The books are even better. So if you're a reader, that's worth picking up.
Yeah. All right, we have some comments here. How about we check those
Excellent.
out?
Let's do that. Let me bring up my chat window here. Oh, or you
Okay.
can just
I will read them off. I will read them off. So from ThoughtSprite, long time no see.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, from
Welcome.
I can't speak. From Info Entertainment. Hi, Bill. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Info, or good evening to you. I'm doing great.
And then,
yeah.
Sorry. And then ThoughtSprite says, what about you and me? That's so narcissist. Why did I say that? That's a cute cat. Then Info Entertainment says, I need some advice. I'm currently doing graduation in computer engineering, but now I have an opportunity to go to Europe for work. I don't understand what I should do. Should I complete my education or go to Europe for a better economic opportunity? Please guide me to the best of your ability.
Well, I mean, not knowing a lot about the specifics, I'm always in favor of work over formal education. Formal education can be valuable, but nothing compares to real world work experience. So even not considering the money, I would go for the work. But that's me. Not everybody feels that way. But considering the economic thing, if it's really a valuable opportunity that's going to boost your economic situation significantly, you can always use that. Save a little bit of money, from every paycheck, and then go back to school in a better position, and maybe even at a better school, if that's what you desire. So I don't know. My advice, for what it's worth, would be to take the opportunity. I mean, I'm always, opportunities present themselves and they seem like a stretch and they seem like, oh, I don't know, can I do this? I'm always going for it. And, the worst that can happen is you fail, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
So you'll have learned something. Even in that circumstance, you learn and you grow and you become better.
Yeah,
to me,
and plus you could probably always go back to your education and have your credits transfer. You can always take leave for a year. And I mean, when you're getting hired somewhere, they look at the work experience that you have more than what degrees you have, at least in my experience.
Some places do, some places don't. But, for me, when I'm hiring, it's always much, much more about the person and who they are and all that than it is about anything else. You can always acquire experience, you can always acquire knowledge, but show me a person who's got who's got a real good self-worth, real good, enjoys learning, enjoys growing. That's always going to be, to me, the most important factor.
Yes. Okay. Now Thoughts Bright says, man, I hate politics. That's why I want to study it. And then they said, deepfake.
That's an excellent motivation. I like that.
And then Thoughts Bright says, deepfakes are getting out of control, which is true.
Yeah.
Then we have a Twitch comment from Diggs, by the way, 7, who says, hey, what's up, G?
What did he call me?
G, goat, or what's up, G?
I'm gonna accept that. I'm gonna accept that just as a
or G, like guy, sup guy.
Yeah.
All right.
Rock on.
There you go. There you have it. Then Info Entertainment says, well, I'm going to take a gamble and go to Europe. I can get a better education there, I think. Thoughts Bright says, good luck. Hope you succeed. Info Entertainment. Me too. Yeah. And then Info Entertainment says, how is Romania in terms of education? And, I got to say, I don't know how Romania is in terms of education, but if that's something you're considering, you're probably going to want to do a lot of research on that one. Yeah.
Do some research, see if you can reach out to some people on social media who might know about it. I've heard good things. Eastern European education has a long and positive reputation. But again, I can't know what the current situation is there. And I would check it out. But if nothing else, it's adventure, it's learning, it's growing. My God, to be young again and have those opportunities.
Yeah. And then they say thanks.
Pardon?
And then Info Entertainment says thanks.
Oh, you're very welcome.
And that's the comments. Ta-da!
Yeah. Love you all. This has been great. We will see you on Monday morning. Same bat time, same bat channel. Have a great weekend.